dedicated for symmetric key cryptography. So as we had discussed, there are 4 security principles are there in cryptography, that is confidentiality, integrity, authentication, and non-repudiation. So initially we are at confidentiality state, just like you have in your OSI model. In case of networking, you have seen that there is a 7 layers are there, and we have discussed throughout the syllabus, that is the all the layers. Like initially we have start with the physical layer, then data link layer. So same thing over here in case of cryptography. So there are some 4 security principles are there: confidentiality, integrity, authentication, non-repudiation. So throughout this syllabus, we will discuss these 4 security principles and the algorithms related with these things. So first one is confidentiality. Confidentiality means that that only you and receiver can understand the message. So there are the few concepts are there regarding the confidentiality. That is, suppose you are encrypting the plain text into ciphertext and you are sending the key also. So only receiver will get the message. That is, after decryption, he or she can get the message. So we are at the confidentiality stage, that how we can ensure confidentiality when we are sending message between sender and the receiver, right? So we are at the confidentiality state. So there are 2 algorithms are there, mainly 2 algorithms are there to ensure the confidentiality. One is symmetric key cryptography, and another is non-symmetric, that is asymmetric key cryptography. So in case of symmetrical cryptography, same key will be used for encryption along with the decryption purpose. And in case of asymmetric cryptography, 2 keys will be used. One key will be used for encryption and another key will be used for decryption. So that is a more complicated thing. Why symmetric cryptography is so much famous? Because the simplicity, the less complexity associated with the symmetric cryptography. That's why it is very much famous. But nowadays there are lots of algorithms are coming related to asymmetric cryptography, because it ensures better security, and at the same time sharing key is not a problem in case of asymmetric key cryptography. So in our last class, we had discussed that in case of symmetric cryptography, there are 2 types of methods are there that we can convert plain text to ciphertext. One is substitution technique, another is transpositional technique. So substitution technique, we had discussed. Substitution technique means one alphabet will be replaced by another alphabet or symbol or character or number, anything else. So in case of substitution cipher, we have studied the Caesar cipher, modified Caesar cipher, monoalphabetic cipher, polygram substitution cipher, polyalphabetic substitution cipher, Playfair cipher, and Hill cipher. So today I will start with again the Hill cipher, and then I will going to discuss the transposition cipher. So that is the today's work. So I quickly go to the book section. Still somebody is joining, so I had to make the auto allow. I am using some other laptop, that's why auto allow is not allowed now. Okay.
অতুল কাহাতেটাই ফলো করব তো আমরা
একদম অতুল কাহাতে is the best book for cryptography. There are another book is there, William Stallings. So but your syllabus contains all kinds of activity related to all kinds of operations related to Atul Kahate. Mane syllabus is designed with the help of Atul Kahate, so that's why. So I am at a different chapter probably. Okay, just wait. So this is the first chapter where the different types of attacks and phishing, farming, snooping, spoofing, all things are mentioned over there. Those things I again discuss whenever we will discuss the whenever we will
আপনি একটা ওয়েব ডেভেলপমেন্টে কিছুটা পড়িয়েছিলেন বোধহয়
yes. Yes, yes, yes. The same chapter that is present in web technology, those are web technology. The module 4 actually dedicated for cryptography. They are different. The same thing we will discuss over again over here, but in a detailed way. Somebody is right. Okay, so this chapter we had discussed in our last class, Monday class. So this is a introductory chapter regarding the symmetric key. So the basic thing we had discussed. So this is Caesar cipher. When the key value is constant, k equal to 3, then it is called Caesar cipher. What is actually modified version of Caesar cipher? The value of k can be anything. It not mandatory that k will be 3. K can be 14, k can be 15. That means the particular alphabet will be replaced by the 15 character, 15 alphabet down the order. So that is the value of k can be anything between 1 to 26. So then it is called modified version of Caesar cipher. What are the problems of the Caesar cipher? That it is very much predictable. Okay, so if you always consider k equal to 3, so it is always predictable. Just like you did in your aptitude class, aptitude test in coding, decoding portion of R.S. Agarwal, that if you see same kind of text 3 or 4 times, you can predict that the what will be the value of k or what will be the output message, right? So same thing. So that's why in case of modified version of Caesar cipher, the value of k will be different from k equal to 3. It can be any value. So we have different types of attacks we need to study again and again. So here we have learned about the brute force attack, which is a famous kind of attack. One of the exam explain brute force attack, explain man in middle attack, explain spoofing attack. So different types of attacks, because as you know, that is the first module is dedicated for all kinds of attacks along with the basics of cryptography, the first module. So this is the example of brute force attack. Just I am recapitulating within 5 minutes, then I will go to the transposition cipher. So brute force attack is when you are trying each and every possibility of decoding a particular message, then it is called brute force attack. Okay, suppose you know there is a 6 characters, you need to the password is 6 characters. So then you will use all types of permutation combinations of your characters of the alphabets to generate what will be the 6-digit password. And if you try something like relatable or some words you can generate, then you can predict that this will be the password. Okay, so this is the way it should work in case of brute force attack. That's why the brute force attack is very much time consuming. If you make the password more complicated, it is less vulnerable for the brute force attack. That's why whenever you are asking in a website, they will ask that the password should be contains at least one capital character, one symbols, one numbers, so that if the character is 6, 8 digits or 9 digits, still it is a combination of capital letter, small letter, then symbols, then numbers. So if somebody is trying to hack your account, the brute force attack, it will take more time to generate all kinds of permutations and combinations. Okay, sometimes they also ask that don't use your name. Your name cannot be present in your password. So this is or your birth year, birth age. Your age will be not the part of the password also. So you should give one password that is less vulnerable to any kind of attack. Okay, not only brute force attack, any kind of attack. You should choose your password like any kind of word you can take in. Then you can give one character capital letter, one or two character capital letter, then use some symbols, use some numbers, so make it more complicated. For example, here they got a ciphertext this. Okay, they got a ciphertext this. And how the brute force attacks is going on? So the letter after the k is l, so they will generate this line. The letter after W is X, the letter after U is V, the letter after M is N, letter after P is Q, after the M we got N, after Z we got A, and after M we got N. So in this way, that is LM, XYZ, VW, VWX, YZ, then ABCD. Then after N you will got N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X. In this way, after P you got Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. After M you got N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X. After Z you got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. After M, N, O, P. So they are trying to find out, the computer is scanning for a meaningful word. So they are searching, and the number 18 they got come here. Okay, so this is a meaningful word. So that means this ciphertext plain text is come here. So generating all kinds of possibilities of the alphabets is the brute force attack, and this is this is how the brute force attacks actually calculates internally. All the cryptography related programs basically written in either C program or Java based languages. So if you we will check some algorithms, and if you go to the websites or Google, you will see that those programs are basically that those algorithms can be converted to programs like simple C programs you can write, where you can generate this list, and from the list the meaningful word can be searched in that way. Okay, so this is a complicated program, but still can be written with the help of C program. So this is an example of brute force attack. Please try to remember, because in the exam there are questions will come from this brute force attack, manning middle attacks, spoofing attacks, snooping attacks. Then you have farming attacks. So different types of attacks are there in your first chapter, like active attack, passive attack. Okay, so I hope you can remember that passive attacks are those which actually won't hamper the particular ciphertext. Okay, it only the kind of attack like eavesdropping, that you are hearing some conversation between two persons without their consent. So that means you are not changing it, and whenever you are changing something, or change that is a content you are changing, or whatever the data you are getting from the conversation, you are treating them in differently, you are hampering someone, so then it becomes active attack. Okay, so this brute force attack is something called active attack, because you are trying to break the confidentiality. Here you are you are from the ciphertext, without knowing the key, you are trying to access the plain text. So brute force attack is a kind of active attack. So this is the modified Caesar cipher. I hope you can remember. Then we have discussed about homophonic substitution cipher. In case of homophonic substitution cipher, there is a list is there. There is a list is there by which A can be replaced by other characters, other alphabets. B can be replaced by other alphabets. So in case of homophonic substitution cipher, not A always replaced by a particular character. There is a list is there. Okay, so A can be replaced by any alphabet from the list. B can be replaced by any alphabet from the list. Okay, so there is like there is a four alphabet list can be there, 5 alphabet list can be there. So you will prepare one list first, and then from the list you will generate plain text to ciphertext and send it to the receiver. Now the same list is also available at the receiver side. Then receiver will choose that A can be replaced by any of the 4 characters, B can be replaced by any of the 4 characters. So that in this way, and the plain text to ciphertext conversion, we can make it more complicated, so that attacker, if the attacker get their ciphertext, from the ciphertext they can't generate the plain text. Okay, or if they can generate the plain text, the conversation is done. Okay, so for example, that you get the MCQ answers after the exam is over. So same kind of thing. Okay, so when the conversation is already done and everything is okay, time is finished. So after that, if the ciphertext to plaintext conversion is done, so then the attacker cannot do anything with that plaintext. So that's why the homophonic substitution cipher, to make it more complex, that can be done with the help of this list. Then we have discussed about polygram substitution cipher. but the polygraph substitution cipher is every word in the dictionary will be replaced by a set of word. Okay, so it must not be that is hello is replaced by some word. The hell will be replaced by some other word. Okay, so that dictionary will be present. That is a dictionary. There is an online dictionary. If you can think, there is one Excel sheet is there. So that Excel sheet will contain two columns. One is plain text column, another is ciphertext column. So every plain text word will be replaced by some other word ciphertext, and that dictionary also present with the receiver side. So whenever you are sending some message, it is a coded message you will send with the help of some coded message, and then we can get the ciphertext. If you get the ciphertext, the receiver will convert the ciphertext to plain text again with the help of the same dictionary. Okay, so that is we have discussed Playfair cipher. So Playfair cipher, I will again discuss with the help of a board, because maybe you are not happy with the explanation, and it is pretty much difficult Playfair cipher. So I want to ask, did you understand the last day's Playfair cipher? If you have attended that class?
No, no, last day মানে last Monday যেটা পড়েছিলাম তো
Yes.
ম্যাম নো ম্যাম I am not understood that one.
Okay, so that thing I will again discuss. So today we will discuss Hill cipher first, and then we will go to the next method, that is transposition technique for converting plain text to ciphertext and ciphertext to plain text. So what is actually Hill cipher? Hill cipher is one method that is actually contain the matrix based operation. So I hope you remember your matrix multiplication, inversion of matrix. So same thing can be applicable over here in case of Hill cipher. What are the first step? See the first step. This is the first step. So first step is all the alphabets will be first replaced by corresponding position. Okay. So if A, B, C, D, if you have a list, so A will be replaced by 0, B will be replaced by 1, C will be replaced by 2, D will be replaced by 3. In this way, the first all the alphabets of the plain text will be represented by number. Why? Because until and unless you will represent the alphabets with the numbers, then you cannot use the matrix multiplication. Okay, so multiplication will be applicable to integers, right? So we just need some integers so that we can use that thing. So suppose the plain text is cat. So for example, our plain text is cat. Plain text is cat. Okay, plain text is cat. So that can be represented by this matrix. So C will be replaced by 2, A will be replaced by 0, and if you try to find out the position of T, considering it has started with 0, the T is equal to 19. The position of T is 19. So you just need to make one matrix from there. So the matrix will be 2, 0, 19. 3, 0, 19. So C is replaced by 2, A will be replaced by 0, and T will be replaced by 19. So basically this is 3 rows and 1 column. That means 3 cross 1 matrix. This is a 3 cross 1 matrix. Now our plain text matrix, this matrix will be multiplied by a random chosen matrix. So what will be the size of the matrix? Obviously 3 cross 3. Otherwise you cannot multiply it with the matrix. Okay, so there is a n is the number of rows. So the P matrix consists of the size n cross n, where n is the number of rows in the plain text matrix. So if the plain text matrix contains four digits, like if it is fish, then the matrix size will be 4 cross 4. Okay, normally in Hill cipher, what actually do, if the number is more than 4 characters, if the plain text is more than 4 characters, then it will be break to 1 2 cross 2 matrix, another 3 cross 2 matrix. For example, if the plain text is a 5, if the plain text consists of 5 alphabets, suppose the password is MERCK mark, MERCK mark. So then you need to consider two Hill cipher methods simultaneously. One for MER, this set of alphabets, another is RK, CK. So CK, that set. Okay, so that means you have to apply two times Hill cipher. One will be applied with the help of 3x3 matrix, and another will be applicable for 2x2 matrix. Okay. Otherwise, Hill cipher will consider 2x2 matrix, 3x2 matrix, and 4x4 matrix. Why? Because to reduce the complexity. মানে যত তোমরা বড় ম্যাট্রিক্স, if you take more size matrix like 5x5, 6x3, 7x7, so the matrix multiplication will be increased, and during the deciphering you just need to make an inverse of the matrix, so it will take more and more complexity. That's why in case of Hill cipher, if you are using some plain text, so if the plain text size is more than 4 digits, more than 4 alphabets, then you should break it down into two halves, one 2x2 matrix, another 3x2 matrix, and after that you will join them separately to get the ciphertext. Okay, so let's take this example. I will discuss the Hill cipher, Playfair cipher again. Okay, with a different set of examples. So just this is, as you can see, just for understanding purpose. Then we will do some examples from the after the chapter will end. Okay. So this is there are 3 rows up there. That's why we have to take the size is n cross n, where n is the number of rows. So this is the key matrix. So this is same matrix is also present at the receiver side. Same matrix is also present at the receiver side, because this is key, and Hill cipher is an example of symmetric key. So same key will be used for encryption as well as decryption purpose. Now what you will do, you will multiply this plain text with the key. So this is simple matrix multiplication that you need to do. Then it is the output of this matrix multiplication. Now see, this is 31, 216, 325. Those are more than the alphabet range. Our alphabet range is 0 to 25. That means we have 26 alphabet in our set. So that we have to do some modification of modular operation. So 31, 216, 325. Then we have to do mod of 26. So that means mod 31 mod 26 gives you 5. 216 mod 26 gives you 8, and 325 mod 26 gives you 30. Okay, so now we get some digits that are actually in the same range. So range of 0 to 25. So if you can see that A, B, C, D, E, F, the position of F is 5, position of 8 is I, and at the 13th position we have an alphabet N. So the ciphertext is FIN. So cat is the plain text and FIN is the ciphertext. Okay, so this is the encryption procedure with the help of matrix in case of Hill cipher, that you just need to multiply the plain text with the matrix, and then you will get the ciphertext. Now what we will do during the decryption procedure? During the decryption procedure, this 5, 8, 13 will be multiplied. So you will send this FIN to the receiver. Now what receiver will do? Receiver again convert this FIN to the corresponding positional matrix. What is the positional matrix? That is 5, 8, 13. And then the key that is present both at the receiver and the sender side, they will do some inverse operation. So this is the inverted matrix. This is the inverse of our original matrix. That will be multiplied by this, and then again we will get back the cat again. Okay, so this is the plain text ciphertext to plain text conversion with the help of the Hill cipher. That is ciphertext that will be multiplied by inverse of the key matrix. Inverse of the key matrix, the same key that is present both the both sender side and receiver side. So that thing will be inversed and will be multiplied by these ciphertext matrix, and then we will get our plain text back. So this is our Hill cipher. So today we will start with the
ডিক্রিপশনের প্রক্রিয়াটা কি হয়?
হ্যাঁ
ম্যাম ডিক্রিপশনে ম্যাম আপনি বলছেন যে যে আমি FIN টা যখন পাস করলাম ওইটাকে ম্যাট্রিক্সটা ইনভার্স দিয়ে মাল্টিপ্লাই করব।
Yes. So there are
আমার
some
মানে
steps are involved. There are some steps are involved. I will show you one matrix that is, as I told you, the both Playfair and Hill cipher encryption to decryption procedure. Again, the decryption procedure I will show you with the hands-on example that I will do matrix multiplication. Everything will be done. Okay. So don't worry regarding the Playfair and Hill cipher if you won't able to do it properly. Okay.
এটা কি
So
আপনার
that I
হোয়াটসঅ্যাপের
will.
ধরুন এন্ড টু এন্ড এনক্রিপশনে ইউজ হয়?
হ্যাঁ, end-to-end encryption means there is a separate only same key will be used both your side and at the receiver side. Okay, end-to-end encryption means there is the only you and particular person will know that what message is getting transferred. When the message you are sending from your machine, it gets to converted to a ciphertext, and the particular receiver receives the ciphertext, and then in the receiver's machine, receiver's mobile, receiver's tablet, whatever you are using, it is converted to ciphertext to plaintext, and then you are viewing the message. Okay, so from the message that leaves from your device, that is ciphertext, and the particular device that is receiving the ciphertext, the receiving the message is also a ciphertext. So only plain text is viewable at your side and the receiver side. That's why it is called end-to-end encryption. Okay, so let's get started. So this is the first method, transpositional technique. Okay, so transpositional cipher, transpositional technique, transpositional cipher. What actually do in case of transpositional cipher? That you are just not including other alphabets or other letters. Whatever the alphabets or letters present in a particular word, that you are changing its position. For example, suppose this is 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is suppose the plain text. So you are just using this 1 to 6 letters, 1 to 6 digits. Just you are changing its position. Just you are changing its position. Just you are jumbled up all these letters inside the particular word. So this is called transposition cipher or transpositional technique. This is different from the substitution technique. Substitution technique ki hoyeche, just you know that one alphabet will be replaced by any alphabet, any symbols. Okay, but in case of transpositional technique, positions of the letters, numbers, symbols will be changed with one another. Just you are changing your position. Amra boli na class e jokhon tomra if you are making noise, so you are changing. No, you don't sit over here. You will sit in his position, and he will sit in your position. So same thing, just you are changing the position. So you can see there is a MEETME. So this is the plain text. So you are just changing its position and it becomes this. So this is the transpositional cipher. Now, in case of transpositional cipher, there are two techniques are there. One is rail fence technique, another is columnar position. Rail fence technique and columnar position. So inside columnar position, there are another two techniques are involved. One is simple columnar technique, another is double columnar technique. So let's get discuss about the simple columnar technique and double columnar technique. Okay. So first we need to discuss about rail fence technique. So rail fence technique is, first you have to write down the plain text as a sequence of diagonals, and then you have to read the plain text written in first steps as a sequence of rows. Okay, so just see the condition. So this is the plain text, come home tomorrow. So how you will write? Come home tomorrow. Okay, so you just need to write the plain text as a sequence of diagonals. Okay, diagonal wise we have to write. So come home tomorrow. Diagonal wise you are just writing, and when you are reading, that is you are converting the plain text to ciphertext, just you need to read it row wise. Then row wise, this is our first row, this is our second row. So how we can get the ciphertext? That is CM HM, TM, HM, TM, RO. And the next row is OE, OE, OO, RW. ORW. So this is our plain text and this becomes our ciphertext. Clear? Rail fence technique clear?
এটা ওয়ান টাইপ অফ জিগজ্যাগ ওয়েতে আমরা প্রিন্ট করছি।
হ্যাঁ,
মানে এরকম একটা লিড কোডে একটা প্রবলেম দেখেছিলাম, নাম্বার মানে যে ওয়ার্ডটা দেবো সেটা জিগজ্যাগ ওয়েতে প্রিন্ট করে আউটপুট দেবে একটা।
Okay, so just you need to write it down diagonally and then you have to read that stuff row wise. মানে তোমরা দুটোর জায়গায় তিনটে ডায়াগোনালেও লিখতে পারো, মানে এরকম করে লিখতে পারো যে কাম, তারপরে এখানে এম লিখলি, মানে three, এখানে we are considering 2 rows, instead of you can also consider 3 rows, 4 rows. In this way you can also write the plain text and then you will just read that stuff row wise. So then the plain text will become ciphertext. So this is one way of the transposition cipher that we can convert the plain text into ciphertext. Okay. So next is simple columnar technique. So simple columnar transposition technique, I will again discuss those things with the book. I will show you that from where you need to study. I will also post this PPT in your Google Classroom if maybe I didn't do last day. So in this method, the message is written in rows of fixed length and then read out column by column. So columns are selected in some scrambled order and the number of columns are defined by the length of the key. So how many columns will be there, that are decided by the key size. So let's discuss about the algorithm. So first you have to write the plain text row by row in a rectangle of predefined size. What is the size? That is the length of the key. Then read the message column by column according to the selected order, thus obtained in a ciphertext, and thus you can obtain the ciphertext. So this is called the simple columnar technique. That's why you have to read it out column wise. When you are generating the ciphertext, you have to read it out column wise. Okay, so let's take, this is our key. Okay, this is our key, zebras. So what is the size of the size? What will be the number of columns will be there? 6. What will be the number of columns will be there? See, you have to write the plain text row by row in a rectangle of predefined size. What will be the size? What will be the number of columns? The number of columns will be the length of key. So the key is zebras and the size is 6. That means we have 6 columns will be there. তাহলে 6 columns আগে দেখে নি, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you just need to prepare one matrix kind of thing where you have 6 columns. After that you just need to write the plain text row wise. like কি করে লিখবো row wise? See, will come home. So your plain text is will come home, will come home. Okay, and now you are changing the order. So this is 1 2 3 4 5 6. And how you will generate the ciphertext? You just need to change the position of the ciphertext, that how you are reading it out. So you will read the 6th column first, then 3rd column, then 2nd column, then 4th column, then 1st column, and then this 5th column. So this order will be treated as a key, and this order will be also present with the receiver. Okay, so here key is not important, the length of the key is important. The length of the key is important. Either you will share this order, or you will share the ciphertext of the key. Okay, so initially plain text is zebras. Then if you consider this to make it to change according to the change order, then it will be S, then B, then E, then R, then 1, and then 5. So you can either send this order to the receiver, or you can change it to the key also, and this key can be shared, that is encrypted key. Encrypted key can be shared with the receiver. Okay, so what will be the ciphertext? So just let's see. So first we will read the 6th column. So 6th column we will get M. Then we will read the 3rd column, so we will get LO. Okay, then we will read the second column, so it will be EH. Then we will read the fourth column, so fourth column it will be CM. And then we will read the first column, that is WE. And then we will read the fifth column, that is OE. So this will be your ciphertext. Wow, your plain text was welcome home, and it becomes ciphertext as per the order of this changed key. Okay. Any doubt,
But
student? Simple
বাট
columnar
ম্যাম এখানে
transmission.
তো আপনি ওয়েলকাম হোমটাকে মানে 1 2 3 4 করে মানে হরাইজন্টালি বসাচ্ছেন। তো ম্যাম এখানে আপনি 6 3 টা কি এটা কিসের এই অর্ডারটা কিসের জন্য? মানে আপনি তো 1 2 3 4 5 6 করে বসেই যাচ্ছেন এক একটা ডিজিট
হ্যাঁ,
মানে এক একটা ওয়ার্ড।
this is for converting. This is the logic behind how to convert plain text to ciphertext. Okay, so মানে it is simple columnar technique. So you have to read it out column wise. মানে we will read it out ciphertext generation column wise we will read it out. So column wise key order we will read the columns. Which order we will follow? If we follow 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 in this way, still we will get something. Okay, so if you write in this way, like we, EH, LO, CM, OEM, so this is also okay if you are reading it, but if you are changing its order, it will become more complex. So it will be M, then if you are reading 3, there is LO, then second is EH, then if it's 4, it will be CM, then you are reading the first column WE, and then you are reading the fifth column, that is OE. So this is the procedure that the particular person who has developed, who has patent মানে patent এটা একটা ব্যাপার যে this is how you can do that thing. So we are just reading the algorithm that is already exist. Okay, so you can still modify the algorithms. Okay, still this is the part of research actually, that how you can modify the existing algorithm, and you have to show that it is time efficient, and there was like different types of attacks you need to apply on them, and then you have to make it sure that your algorithm is more secure compared to the previous one. So this is how it should work. Okay, so this is the basic things that are already there. They are already there in all books, all methods. That's like we are learning about some algorithms that is already present, but there are lots of modified versions are also available, right? So this is a simple columnar transposition technique. Quickly I go to the double columnar transposition technique. So single
এটা কি কোডিং এর
columnar
মাধ্যমে করা?
transposition. হ্যাঁ
ম্যাম এই যে আপনার সাইফার টেক্সট প্লেন টেক্সট থেকে সাইফার টেক্সট এটা কি মানে প্রোগ্রামের মাধ্যমে করা?
Yes, all things are written using C programs. Mainly C programs are mainly used when the cryptography was developed. But now, as all the other languages are still okay, you can still write it using C++, Java, etc. Any language, even Python can be used for cryptography programs. Okay, so let's discuss quickly the double columnar transposition technique. We are lagging because only 5-6 minutes are left. So single columnar transposition can be attacked by guessing possible column length. Therefore, to make it stronger, double transposition technique is used. So this is simple columnar transposition technique applied twice. Here, same key can be used for transposition, or two different keys can be used. Okay. So single columnar transposition technique can be guessed by the attacker with using the possible columnar lengths or column lengths or column position. So if you try different permutation combination, you can get the ciphertext. Therefore, to make it more stronger, double transposition technique is used. So here the single columnar or simple columnar transposition technique will be used twice, and the same key can be used, or two different key you can use. So let's take the example. And so there will be the same thing will be applied twice. So first apply we simple columnar transposition technique. So key equal to, that is again zebras. So again whatever we did, that is welcome home, this plain text is written row wise, and the order is generated, and as per the order the ciphertext is generated, right? The ciphertext is generated. The same thing we did earlier, we are doing it again. After that, this ciphertext again will be use the same order or different order. Okay, it's up to you that if you are using same order, it's also okay. If you are using different order, that is also okay. So same key can be used or two different keys can be used in case of double columnar transposition technique. So here key is again the 6 digits. So you are writing this ciphertext that MLOE HCMWEOE, and the order is again same thing. So if you are taking it, there is a sixth column, you will read it first, so it will be C. Then the third column will be OE. Then the second column is LW. Then the fourth column is EO. Then the first column is MM, and the fifth column is HE. So in this way, that is applying the single columnar double transposition technique twice. The double columnar transposition technique will generate the ciphertext, and it will be more complex compared to the single columnar transposition technique. Okay. So this is the slide where you differentiate the techniques between the substitution cipher and transposition cipher. So in substitution techniques is one in which the letter, number, symbol of plain text are replaced by other letters, symbols, or numbers. In the transposition technique, the positions are changed of the letter, numbers, and symbols. Easy to understand. Transposition technique, it has been seen that it is more complex compared to the substitution technique. So there are methods, some methods are there, and there are some methods are there. We have different substitution cipher. There are lots of substitution cipher is also there that we will discuss again and again. So this is that we'll again discuss on our Monday class, that